Hey, everybody. Uh, okay. Good morning, everybody. It is, let's see, February 19th, and it is almost 11 o'clock. I had a cancellation for an appointment, so I figured I would just pop on here and talk to everybody on here. I am Stacy from the Key to Soul Awakening, and what I do is I help people find their karmic patterns to clear them and manifest their highest and best life. I'm also a psychic medium and a tarot reader. So I come on to YouTube Live every once in a while and I ask you if you have a question. If you have a question, you can just pop it in the chat box and ask me your question, and I'd answer the best of my ability with my psychic abilities and with my guides and tarot cards. So I just decided to come on here and see who's here. So if you're here, ask me a question in the chat box. What can I help you with? Today, I am celebrating the end of Mercury retrograde. It is ending tomorrow, and all of this stuff is going to be going away very, very soon because Mercury retrograde is almost over. The stellium has passed. The new moon has passed. So we should all be breathing a sigh of relief. Welcome, everybody. If you are here and you're brand new, make sure you hit like of my live stream and you subscribe to my YouTube channel because I do go live and I post information and all kinds of educational videos Fridays at 5 p.m. and I go live every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So like I said, end of Mercury retrograde. There is going to be a little bit of a shadow, though, where the shadow of the retrograde is going to be for a couple days, but that's not going to be as bad as the last few weeks have. I mean, tell you about it. Like the last few weeks have been oi. Yesterday on Instagram, I had a really interesting live session where I just talked about how you can manifest your best life. And I really wish I need to manifest like great hair. Manifest your best life. And it doesn't start with like vision boards. It does not start with, talking to the universe because the universe doesn't understand. Okay, I'm going to say this very flippantly. The universe does not understand English. The universe understands the feel of our vibration. And for those of you who don't understand what a vibration is the feelings that we put out all the time, whether it is what we're saying, what we're feeling, what we're thinking, all of that goes out energetically. It's all based in energy. It's all very proven through science that we all have energetic fields around us, and we control those energetic fields through our thoughts, our words, and our actions. So what I was talking about yesterday on Instagram Live, I was talking to my followers about, and if you're not over there, go over to Instagram Live and go over to Instagram and follow me because I go to live all the time. What I was talking about over there was my journey on how to manifest your highest and best life the right way, the real way. I mean, and I say this every single time. I think I say this every single time on live, where that book, The Secret, was great, but it did not tell us the whole truth. It did not tell us how to manifest stuff. It gave us a really big hope of how to manifest our lives, but it didn't really tell us how to do it. It just said, and then we all kind of made it up. We're like, oh, we'll make vision boards and we'll do blah, blah, blah. How you do it is every single day, what you need to do is look at yourself and go, how am I feeling right now? Think about it right now. How am I feeling right now? Right now, I'm feeling quite light and very joyous and happy. And I feel that way most of the time after my spiritual awakening. Most people don't feel that way, though, and I get it. So what are you feeling right now in that? Who are you angry with? Who are you upset with? Is it you or is it somebody else? And those are the feelings you need to explore and figure out, what are my actions and my feelings saying to other people that are putting that wall up between myself and everybody else. And in putting that wall up, in putting out negative feelings, you're putting out a negative vibration. And the law of attraction is never going to give you what you want. If you just keep telling the law of attraction that you're negative and you're angry at people and you're acting out and you're saying like mean things, or even if you're thinking mean things, that goes out into the law of attraction. And the law of attraction feels that. And that is how we're getting in our own way, by manifesting. Hey, if you're new here, make sure you hit the like button on this live and hit the subscribe button. If you have a question, pop it in the chat box with your date of birth and I will help you out. I'm Stacy, a psychic medium from the Key to Soul Awakening. I'm probably the best psychic you're going to find, so go ahead and ask me anything. I will go ahead and answer the best I can. I have my guides who are always here, and I also have my tarot cards. Hey, Teal. Okay. What is the thing? I'm thinking that you're loving this person from afar. Am I right? I'm seeing you not actually in a relationship with this person, or even like a friendship, like maybe a friendship, a closer, but it's like you're loving from afar, and you haven't actually, like you want that. You want to be closer, but you haven't. You're not there yet. Okay, what they're actually telling me is if you would let this person know how you're feeling, that would actually move you closer to where you want to be in your life. And I don't think it's going to be a bad response. I don't think this person's going to be like, no, I don't want any of this. I think the person is actually going to, you want to be, yeah, yeah. And it looks like afar, like this is somebody you admire, correct? Like this is somebody, yeah. And all I keep saying is good things. Like if you just let them know what you're thinking, um, it's going to be fine. And I do see a path. They're telling me, Teal, that you're really timid. You're really timid in your life. And that's something that you need to be getting through. Is that true? You feel like you're extra shy, where maybe not extra shy. Maybe you don't have enough boost in confidence to know that you can get things done. Yeah, I'm seeing that. If you have a question about that, ask me directly because there's a lot about that in your life that is they want me to tell you to ask a question about that because I can help you. Okay. Let me get back to what I was talking about with manifesting. And if Teal has an additional question, that's great. If you're new, make sure you hit the live stream and you like and subscribe. And if you have a question, make sure you pop it in the chat box with the date of birth, and I will help you out as best I can with myself, my guides. I tend to not use my tarot cards as much anymore, only because my gifts have become so strong that I don't actually need them, but sometimes I use them if people want me to. Okay, so manifesting. I'm going to get back to what I was talking about real quick. So when you look to manifest your life, look to manifest your life, what you want to do is look within, because the law of attraction doesn't fix things, and it also doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you are. So if you are feeling very frustrated in life and you are feeling very like stuck, I'm not going to get anywhere, why is this happening? The law of attraction feels that and tries to match it. So it's not like the law of attraction goes, oh, they're so unhappy with their house, let's give them a new house. Mm-mm. You have to be grateful for what you have now in any capacity, and the law of attraction will give you more of it. So in a way to say things like this, if you're in a situation where like your life feels kind of like stuck and you don't really know where to go with it, you find anything you appreciate about it. Like you could say like, I love the way my mother makes me breakfast every morning. Focus on it. That's a feeling of love. You put that out in the universe, and the universe is going to bring you more people who kind of spoil you and love you. That's the way it works. You don't ever want to focus on anything negative, or the universe is going to bring it to you. All right. Do you see anything else she's thinking about me? Also, thank you for answering me. No problem. It's really hard to go into somebody else. Not hard. I can do it. However, I will tell you that I have a little bit of an ethical boundary going to somebody else's energy field without their permission. What I will do is I will go down one of the possible life timelines and see. Hold on. And see what's happening. My ear started ringing. That's why it's always a note. Okay. Your last question of does she want to be friends? I do see that. I do see that there is not going to be a push away. Like you need to open to this person, and you need to say, you know, uh, really, I don't see a push away at all. Thank you. Thank you. I don't see a push away at all. So, hey, Bethany. Um, Hey, Teal, if you want to go and for this weekend, what I want you to do is go do what I'm suggesting, and then come back on Sunday at my live at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and let me know what happened. Okay, because what I'm seeing, I'm great, Bethany. How are you? What I'm seeing is you're going to be just fine with this happening. All right, but I'm interested in how it turns out. So when we talk about manifesting, what you need to do is a lot of times, and I talked a lot on Instagram about this yesterday, and I'm going to bring it here and explain it to you guys. I went through a spiritual awakening only because I really wanted to manifest a life where I was tired of being depressed. I was tired of being frustrated with life. I was tired of searching for answers that were outside of myself, wherein I realized the answers were all in with me. And let me give you a little snapshot of what I was like a couple years ago. I was like this angry, bitter person. I joked on Instagram yesterday that I was Karen. Like if there was this big YouTube and all of these channels like a couple years ago, like I'd have a whole channel devoted to me as Karen because that was me a couple years ago. I thank the universe they stopped me because, well, I don't know. You probably would have been amused by. I used to fight with everybody, and I used to do it because I didn't feel. And I'll explain this. I didn't feel like loved inside of myself. I didn't feel validated. So I would go out and feel validated by being smarter than somebody else and picking fights with them. And it was only when I stopped doing that and started questioning, like, why am I doing this? Why am I creating this negativity around me? That all of this stuff started coming out. And I realized I'm creating all of this, and the universe is feeling my vibration and bringing me all this negativity. It's like when you feel bad, isn't it right when you feel bad or you feel sick and you get down in the dumps, you feel sicker or more things come at you? That's the law of attraction. That's how it works. Yeah, I totally was Taryn. I will, honest to God, I was Karen. I mean, like, I'm afraid there are videos that are going to come out. And if there are, I'm going to be like, dude, that was me. I mean, like, really, really. I mean, I'm not embarrassed to say it at all. Hey, Nina. Let me get back to the manifesting and how my spiritual awakening came about in a little bit. I'm going to answer some questions. If you're new here, make sure that you hit the like button for this live stream and subscribe to my channel. I also want to tell you I'm over on odyssey.com, which is sort of like YouTube, but it's just a different platform. So if you want to head over to Odyssey too, just go ahead and follow me there. It helps me out a lot. So thank you so much. Bethany, it would help. Thank you. We all Karen. No, seriously, I was like the archetype. So when they said Karen, I was like, yeah, that was totally me. But like, it's the best thing I can tell you of how I used to behave before my spiritual awakening. I don't even recognize that person anymore. Bethany, yeah, put your date of birth in. It doesn't help me with the reading. It helps me know with your life path. I can still do a reading for you, but if I know your date of birth, it helps me a lot to know who you are coming into this world versus who you are right now. And I can explain that a little bit more if you can give me your birthday. So your question, okay. Oh, you haven't asked me a question yet. If you have a question for me, just put it in the chat box. So what happened? I'm going to make this shorter, my spiritual awakening story, but the moment that it all changed for me is I had gone through all of these, I went through a karmic reading and blah, blah, blah. And there was a moment where I had, was ordering something from Amazon. And as soon as I hit that button that said, order, my husband messaged me and says, oh, you're awake. Great. You're awake. Says something like that. And I got angry because I was like, of course he knows I'm awake. Everything I do, he like tags because like he has our credit cards. So because they've gotten stolen. So he knows when, transactions go through. And I stopped myself and I said, am I creating this? Is this actually happening? And I wrote him back. I think I wrote him back kind of snotty. And then he was like, no, I just wanted to know you were awake and to tell you I love you. And I thought, I am creating all of this. I was all ready to yell at him and go, blah, 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 you're controlling me. And I realized I'm creating that whole situation. And that was the moment that I realized that I think I'm creating a lot of negativity in my life. And that's what I want to do for all of you guys. I want you to stop when you are about to get angry or you're about to get upset and go, is this actually happening or am I creating it? And if it's actually happening, you use the path of least resistance. Whatever the most loving thing is to do for yourself and somebody else, like get away from it, that's what you do. But if it's not actually happening, you have to question why. Why are you creating it? Okay. My question, will I get resolution with my Gemini soon? Okay. You have really good vibes too, Bethany. I see water like all around you. And I'm not sure if you live near water or if water is like a clearing effect for you. You have very good connection with water. Okay, so 7, 10, 19, 83. Okay, attitude number. Okay, Bethany, that makes sense. That's why I'm seeing water. Okay, Bethany, you are, this is why I'm seeing water is because you are a master number 11. And I do have a new series coming out about life paths. So check back to my channel, okay? Um, Bethany, you are master number 11, and then that goes down to a 2. And that's two different numbers wrapped into one. So not everybody who's a 2 is an 11. So you're a 2, you love balance, you love harmony, you have probably questioned yourself and why you're living on this planet that is so angry and hurtful and just seems to be out to hurt everybody, because that is not you. And you feel, I mean, I call the 2s honestly the aliens of the planet, because they're like, what am I doing here? You just love balance, and that's what water is all about. Hey, Alcapit. Um, you just love balance. You just love everything. Your attitude number is an 8, which is all about a lot of athletic professionals are 8s because they balance like athleticism and power and prowess of business knowledge, and just that's their life. That's how they focus. So you have this financial prowess, and I really do. I feel very strong around you, Bethany. Going into this need for balance, you try to mediate things a lot, Bethany. You do. You try to mediate things a lot, and when it's not mediated, you're like, okay, I can't solve this, so I'm going to back out slowly. That's Bethany. Okay, your question is, will I get a resolution with your Gemini soon? It's interesting you say you're Gemini, because instantly I'm getting that it's a duality. Okay. You've had struggle with this person because at one, and that's why I'm saying duality, because you've had a struggle with this person because in one time they're showing themselves as this and another time it's this, and you like one, not the other. Um, how, let me know if that is accurate or not. Thank you, Bethany. I love your vibes, Bethany, too, honestly. You feel very just clear and fresh to me. Um, I think your resolution is coming. It's not going to be the one that you're hoping for, but it is going to be the one that's better for you. And that's what you need to keep in mind. So, and that's where I think people get a lot lost in all of these relationships, whether it's a friendship or a romance or whatever. We get lost in the fact that what we want doesn't happen. When we want something that's not happening, that means it's not supposed to happen. And we got to stop pushing. So, Bethany, they're literally telling me you need to go with the flow. Go with the flow, whatever comes with it. Yeah, and that's when you said Gemini right away. It was like two different people. Again, I don't like going to somebody else's energy, but when I can look at from your end of this, it's not healthy for you to be in this kind of a relationship, because you never know what you're expecting. And you know, that's not cool. We can't go into a relationship like that, right? And the little bit that I'm getting, that I will allow myself to go into, is that this person also doesn't understand how to handle this. So you can offer your help and you can offer your guidance, but don't hand your heart over, don't hand your life over, because if they can't handle their own life, what are they going to do yours, right? I'm Bethany. I think you've attracted this person into your life because you have a deep, deep need, again, to help people, to mediate people, and you've seen this in this person. You also have you have something inside of you, Bethany, that's like, I need to fix people because something happened to you, and you were kind of left and not, and this is, I'm talking when you were young, when you were kind of left like not helped at all, and that's ingrained itself in you, and you're like, okay, I'm going to go try to help everybody else. Um, Hold on, Teal. This may not have been a major event. They're telling me it's not a major event that happened to you, Bethany, but it was something that you were really little. It was something that just kind of left you going, well, what about me? And now you've grown up and trying to, you know, fix other people, and you can't fix people. What you're doing, Bethany, is you're attracting the people that you want to fix, and you need to understand you can't fix people. Your energy, though, is really good. It's like super high, super humanistic. You're all about humanity. You're all about like helping people. Are you in the health profession? Are you like you're a caretaker? You're a caretaker of some sort. Um, I also keep seeing a dog. Um, so anything about that. Bethany, you definitely just need to change your vibe in that you need to start affirming every day that like I'm going to attract, I'm going to allow people in my life who are loving unconditionally and respectful of me just the way I am of myself. Okay. Um, and although this relationship with this Gemini may not be completely over, you need to start taking more of a stand of protecting yourself and the love for you have for yourself. All right. If you have any other questions, go ahead and put them in the box. If you're new here, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I'm also over on odyssey.com, which is sort of like YouTube. So if you head over there and follow me there, it helps me out a lot. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and put them in the box. Go ahead and put your date of birth in too, because it helps me kind of align with who you are when you came in to this world. I was talking about manifesting, about my story, about how I got through my spiritual awakening and what I did to, I'll get back to your question one second, Teal. What I did to get through my spiritual awakening and manifest the life that I live right now. Thanks, Bethany. I hope you stick around. Don't forget to come back on Sunday at 10 a.m. for my lives. I do them every week on Sunday at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to get back to my story in a second. Teal, do you see a first impression? I don't get a huge first impression. What I'm seeing is this person walking away. And if I was you, I'm kind of like walking behind this person, and the person knows that you're there, but it's not really, it's like a neutral thing. Oh, they're there. Like I feel like this person has lots of people around them a lot too. But there isn't a first impression, good or bad. All right. And that's why I'm saying I think you need to take a few more steps and take action with what you want to happen. Okay. All right. So back a little bit. When I realized I was creating my own negativity, I really did like went into and was like, why am I doing this? What am I benefiting from arguing with all these people? What am like all these people like really who are arguing about everything right now? I just don't get it. Like what benefit? You don't get any positive vibes out of arguing with somebody. None. And in fact, it brings down your vibes and it'll bring you more negativity. So the best thing to do when you get in some sort of a challenging situation is to back away and just go, okay, I'm going to think about this and I'll talk to you in a little bit. And say nothing. Like, I know everybody wants to be vindicated. I know everybody wants to slash out because it makes your ego feel better. Your ego is different than the person in your soul. Your ego is who has been built up since you were little. So the ego is the one that survives. The ego is the one who makes you survive this world. Your intuition is the one who got us here and wants you to learn lessons. The ego makes that stop. So anything your ego wants you to do, you need to not do it, because the ego is only out for you, and it doesn't care if whatever you do right now ends up having you get hurt later on. The ego cares about you right now and like making your point. It doesn't matter. Do you know why I badly want to be a friend? I keep asking Tara about her. I feel insane. Sorry. Okay. No, 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 no. If you have that undying feeling for somebody, it does definitely mean you have some sort of karmic connection. Um, or they're telling me that you have a tendency to latch on to things and people, to okay, so to put this short, Teal, what's happening here is that you don't have enough confidence within yourself. This isn't the first time you've done this, where you've latched onto somebody else or a situation that would make you feel better about yourself if they pay attention to you. That's why you're focusing on it so much. Um, so it's nothing about them. It has to do with you. Yeah, it's almost if you like you push yourself down and you're saying to yourself, like, I'm not as important as everybody else. So if I can get this person to pay attention to me, I'm more important. And by saying that, you're undermining your own value. And when you do that, you're putting out vibrations, like I talked about in the beginning, you're putting out vibrations to the universe that you are not worth anybody talking to. You're not worth anybody to pay attention to because you're putting that vibe out. It all starts within us. And I'm talking to everybody who's listening to this right now. It starts within us. Anything that we want to come to us will come to us when we have unconditional love for self without changing anything about ourselves. All right. A lot of people do this. A lot of people look at other people and think that they're going to be valued more in the world and valued more in their family and valued more in their little communities if somebody else values them. And really, it doesn't matter if anybody else values you. You value you. Um, okay, they're bringing up all this information that I have been downloaded recently. I was going to talk about on Sunday. I'm going to talk about a little bit here, but I'm going to talk about more on Sunday. It's called the illusion of fear, and how we're fearful of everything about our lives, right? Guys want to tell me if you're still here. You're fearful of literally everything. You're fearful of like living life. You're fearful of what's going to happen. You're fearful of not being in control. You're fearful of being alone. Like there's a list of things that everybody is fearful of in this life. And the great illusion here is that fear is actually an illusion. Fear is actually brought about by this great, and I know everybody's watched The Matrix and everybody's been talking, about like, this that we're in a simulation of sorts, and we kind of are, but the simulation is nothing that nobody has ever really come up about. I got this huge download this last week, and the download basically said that we're in the simulation in order to experience what life would be like as separated from God, from source energy. So this entire existence is putting us individual. So ordinarily, when we're on the other side, we're all together. We're one. Okay. There's source. We're little particles of source. So it's called the universal law of oneness. When we're here, we feel very separated. We actually make rules that like only these people can actually talk to God, like the priests, or the Pope. Like when really we can all do it. We can all do it. And when we feel connected with source energy or God energy, that is when we're stepping over this fear, this illusion of fear. And this goes right into Teal. What you're talking about is that, you fear this person never paying attention to you because you fear that you're not important. When you get past the fear, when you get past that, like, everybody has it. Everybody lives with fear. When you get past the fear, you really begin to live your life. You live your life with happiness. You live your life on a high vibration, and you can manifest anything you want. So the illusion of fear here is that we have been placed on this earth to be separated from what is home. Home is together in a oneness within God's love. And we're here really, truly just to experience life without it so we can value that love even more when we cross over. But now we're going through a big transition. Between now and 2028, we're transitioning into this 5D world where we will, everybody watching this, everybody, when we raise our vibration, we're going to be transferring into a world that is more loving and more accepting. And that doesn't mean we're all jumping on a spaceship and going somewhere. It doesn't mean it's physical. We're going to be transitioning vibrationally, where all of this negativity is going to be left behind us, and we're going to know how to face things with positivity and light. All right, how can I get over my obsession? Okay, so you have an obsession with tarot. Is that what you're saying? You have an obsession with tarot and then becoming more confident. Okay. Yeah, your low. Yes, definitely your low confidence comes from your childhood. But this is what I do with my clients is, okay, I'm sorry, they buzz my ears when something's important. Okay, this is an important question. So let me explain this. Yes. So your confidence does come from your childhood, but it also comes from your karmic patterns, which you've brought in from past lives. And that's what I help people do, is identify their karmic patterns and clear them. And that way they can live a happier life, loving themselves and manifesting everything they want to come in. So let me dig down to where this came from, Teal. Hold on. So karmic patterns are when we, and again, source energy put us all particles out and wanted us to experience life. And what karma is, it's not punishment. It's balance. So when you do something in one life, you could even do something in this life, but you have to experience the other side of it in order to balance it. It's not a punishment. So in your past life, let me, hmm. Okay, your past life, you were very poor in the Aztec community. You were not. I keep seeing like that area, that geographic area, but it wasn't that area. It wasn't like you were very poor. You were like lower. They keep telling me the word lower. Hey, Bella. They keep telling me the word lower. So I don't know if there's a class system in this particular area and when you were alive, but you were definitely not higher up. And that feeling of being less than, that feeling of being not, part of everything because you were born at a lower level, that's what they're saying, a lower level, has transferred, had rooted itself so deeply into you that it transferred into this life. And that's why you compare yourself to everybody, is because, yeah, I'll call it, but yeah, past lives are really interesting, aren't they? So Teal, you've transferred that into this life where you are comparing yourself, and I don't think you live in an area right now that has that. Okay, Bella, I'll be right there. Okay, so Teal, what this is, Teal, I don't think you live in a country. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you don't live in a country that has that system, right? Like where there's not like a system of who's lower, well, like, okay, there's not like a a system that is spoken about, right? But you do, that is why you compare yourself to everybody, because your karma has, so karma protects us. This karmic pattern is protecting you from becoming, okay, so in that past life you thought it was very unfair to you were just born this way. Why? Okay. You had some sort of disability. You did. I want to say it was like a club foot. It was like something that didn't allow, again, when people looked at you, they thought, okay. So, and you grew very, very, very resentful. So you grew up, you're a man. I don't know if you're a man or a woman yet right now, but like you were a man. And as you grew up, you grew very resentful of the fact that you were not offered the same quality of life as others just because you had this like club foot. So one day you went into some sort of business that wouldn't let you be there, and you were demanding that to have service, like you deserve service just like anyone else. It was like a business, and you ended up getting killed. So what happened is now you've come into this life feeling less than, and you need to feel important, and that's where that's coming from, is that karma, is that you definitely have brought in this unworthiness feeling of you. So what you do to get rid of that is anytime you feel it, you have to say, I feel it, I see it, I feel it, I release it. There's more to it. If you're interested in talking to me specifically, make an appointment with me at the top. I put the link at the top, and I can help you through this. We can talk and then figure out in that session where we want to go with it. Because until you clear this, you will continue to struggle with it. as we all do with our karmic patterns. All right, Bella, what does a man find attractive about you? You've energy, Bella. You've energy. Bella, what's your date of birth? Lots of energy. I see you laughing. Um, and I don't know if you have red hair or if you've long red hair, but I'm seeing like just joyous laughter with, thinking there's long red hair, strawberry blonde maybe. Um, so that's Jean. Oh, thanks, Teal. Make sure you like and subscribe, okay, Teal? I want to see how this turns out, okay? That's a 4. Bella, what year? Okay. You have lots of energy about you, Bella. That's why I'm trying to figure out what your life path is. If I had to guess, you're a 3. I just need to know the year. 93. Okay. Um, Six, 8. Okay. That's interesting. I can do that one more time just to make sure I'm right. Math was not my like best subject in school. Sorry. So, okay. 12. So 10, 20, 30, 35. Yep, an 8. It's interesting because I'm seeing you as a 3, and you're definitely not a 3 life path. Yeah, you're an 8, and you have an 8 is definitely about you have financial prowess. You know how to make money. I think you might struggle a little bit about keeping the money. You have definitely brain and brawn going for you. But it's your energy. It's like this energy that is just like an elixir to people bringing to you. And my guides are telling me that you don't believe that. So you're like, this lady's nuts. When you let yourself, and this is why I'm telling you it's interesting because you've flipped into this 3. When you start having more confidence in yourself and believing in yourself, this is who you turn into, this very vivacious person, this person who a lot of people think are out of your league. Yeah, that's it, Bella. Like, and I see you rising to a platform where a lot of men would think that you're out of their league because you are so vivacious and so energetic. And it would be your low confidence that would be holding you back. Let me see. And again, your low confidence is part of your karmic pattern. And okay, so what karmic patterns do, they work with our ego and they help our ego into keeping us back from who we're supposed to be, because our patterns are trying to protect us. They're trying to protect us from something that happened in the past life, from happening again. So at your core, yeah, Teal, it's for everybody. It's for everybody. Everybody has this. So Bella, your core and our personalities don't change that much from here to the other side. So your personality is actually very bubbly and very vivacious. Let me get to, were your parents divorced, Bella? And if they weren't divorced, they did not have a great relationship. And this had an effect on you. And you're closer to, they're telling me the word grandparent than actual parents. They weren't close. My dad worked a lot. Yeah, okay. I feel that separation. I feel that between the parents is that, and that had an effect on you in that. And like you telling me your dad worked a lot, that made you feel very, even though it probably didn't mean it. Oh, Teal, a lot of people have low confidence because of our pattern. I mean, seriously, it's not like everybody has the same issues, but when they show up to me and they say like, I don't look, I'm not anything like, what you're seeing, it's because of karmic patterns, and karmic patterns change who we are on the ego level. I see who you are at the soul level. Um, okay, Bella, I'm seeing that you took your dad working a lot internally, and as a kid probably would. Um, okay, and what you need to understand, and Teal, you need to know this too. So when we come into this life, we ask our family members, our guidance, to bring our karmic patterns to us, so we can balance it out, and that's the first 30 years of our life. Okay, so. Um, Bella, you just feel very weighted down, very weighted down. Like if I'm feeling your feet, it feels like you are like chained to the floor to me. But the interesting thing is, Bella, it's like you've chained yourself down. Do you understand that statement? Do you understand my statement, Bella, that you've chained yourself down? Hey, Gaggy. He wasn't around much. Yeah, somewhere around there, Bella, there's something that clicked within you that you were like, you know, okay, so you understand the statement that you've chained yourself down. And understanding the statement that you've chained yourself down means that you also know how to unchain yourself. And that's the part that's hard for a lot of people. It was hard for me, really. It really was. To understand that I had done this to myself, that I needed to get myself out of it. Um, Okay, I'm not going to go much further with this because I don't think you want to have this discussion on live YouTube, which is fine. If you have another specific question, I can answer that for you. Or if you want to make an appointment, let's do that, because your guides are telling me you do need help understanding how to step out of it, how to get out of this. I'm really seeing it as just like dark, dark water, dark, dark water. Um, It's so interesting because, like, who you are. Hey, cup of tea with $3 worth of sugar and cookies. I like your name. Um, Bella, who you are is so different than who you are right now. So I hope you can make an appointment, or ask me another question specifically because I can help you with that. Okay. Okay. Cup of tea. Let's see. What's my future spouse like? Cup of tea. Can you give me your birthday, the digits, month, day, and your year? I just got a really funny image, so I'll tell you about that in a second. Feel I am more confident before, at least I think better. Yeah, I mean, it's just a process. It's not going to change overnight, and that's good that you're taking care of yourself. Give me 1 second. Let me see if Cup of Tea can give me the. Okay, thank you. So that's June 19th of 22. Okay, 02. Okay, you're 2 as well. And it's 10 plus 6, 16, and you're a 7 attitude. Okay. So you're a 2 as well, life path, which is interesting. I'll be right with you, Gaggy. Okay. So your future spouse, cup of tea, literally just got this view of like this person turning around going, they think they're funny. Like, person's going to play with you a lot. Like, it's going to be a fun relationship. Um, like they're saying they think you're funny, but you actually are funny. It was just the way they turned around, like, yeah. Okay. I don't think you know this person yet, T. You're about to ask me that. You don't know this person yet. My guides are telling me you need to come down a little bit. Like, they're showing me that you kind of walk with your head real high and like strut. Like, they're showing me this like guy, and it's an archetype that I see for specific kind of behavior. They're telling me you need to come down a little bit, and not discount other people that you ordinarily wouldn't look at. All right. So this person is in your orbit, but you're just not seeing it yet because they're just saying you're up here. You need to come down a little bit. And if that makes sense, let me know. If you're new here, make sure you hit the like button on this live stream and hit the subscribe button with the bell on my YouTube channel. I'm also over on Odyssey.com and on Instagram. So if you want to go find me over there, I'm on Twitter too, but like I've like this much of a following. Go find me other places. I'm everywhere. Okay. Yeah, Bella, I see the self-sabotage. If you have another question, cup of tea, bring it at me. That's all I'm doing right now. Okay. Bella, I'll be right with you. I have my lovely follower who's been with me since the beginning, Gargi, who's Gaggy Closet. I'm going to tell her about her energies right now. I'm so happy Mercury retrograde's almost over, Gargi. Thumbs up. Okay, your energies. I hate to tell you this, but you feel scattered. Are you scattered? You feel scattered. You feel you're questioning a lot. And Gargi, you never got back to me about my group class on Tuesday. Did you want to be part of that on Tuesday? If anybody wants to be part of my group class, all you have to do is DM me on Instagram, and I will give you the information. There's still a little bit of room, but Gargi, let me know if you want to do that. They're free, by the way, the group classes right now. Okay. Gargi, you feel really scattered. You feel like you're questioning a lot. Like you're bringing it in. You're bringing in your scattered energy, and you're bringing in confusion when really if you stayed calm, everything, all of this around you would be calmer. All right. Bella, you're going to find love. And what I'm going to say next to you, you might roll your eyes a little bit, but here it goes. Bella, you need to find love within yourself first. You need to love yourself first unconditionally before you're going to find a love who loves you respectfully and unconditionally. Because if you go out and find love right now, which is possible, that kind of love is going to be very detrimental to who you are. It's not going to allow you to be free like you want to be. So you need to work on yourself first before you bring a love in. All right. Okay. Yeah, cup of tea, your energy is hilarious. I love it. You're a 2, a life path, but you feel very, very much like a 5. So I love your energy. All right. Anybody else have any questions? I could also go back to talking about how to manifest and how I did it in my own life. Excuse me. For those of you that are new, I manifested my entire life. I live in the Caribbean now. It's a complete surprise. I just told the universe, I'm not resisting anything you bring me anymore. I got to the point where I was like, I'm not going to try to control my life anymore. You take me where I need to be. And here I am living in the Caribbean. I mean, this is what I mean about fear and trusting the universe. You have to let go of that control. You have to let go of that, the fear of not controlling things, because the universe has you. The universe will never let anything bad happen to you as long as you trust. Okay. Your relationship with your dad affected me. It feels very absent. It feels very, even though you say you're daddy's girl, I feel, Bella, that you've always felt like you didn't get enough. Even though I think he probably worked a lot and he didn't have the time. I mean, like, I think being a parent myself, I get it. But I think it always left you feeling like a little bit of what's wrong with me. Like, why does he like going to work so much and not, or why does he like doing all this other stuff and not spending time with me? And that's how it felt internally when you were a child. And you've internalized that into being a whole person of who you are at this point. Whether or not you knew that, which is interesting. But But here's what you need to understand, Bella, and everyone who's listening. What you need to understand is your parents, all of our parents, are living their own lives, and we made soul contracts with all of them. They're learning their lessons, and we're learning ours. So whatever choices your parents made had nothing to do with you. It had to do with what they had to learn in their life. We're just a player in that. So, and trust me, if you're new, so you don't understand the background of this, but I can tell you this from experience that I was abandoned by both my parents, and it took me a while. And I mean abandoned, okay? Not like, you know, he went to work. It took me a while meaning decades, to realize that their abandonment and rejection of me wasn't about me. It was about them. And I made a soul contract with them that I was fulfilling. And when I realized that I could no longer fulfill that contract anymore because they were not reciprocating what they were supposed to be, the universe voided it and said, I don't have to continue with it anymore. That's what's happening to you right now, Bella, is that you're held down so much because you feel the sense of duty for a lot of things in your life, not just one thing, but you feel a sense of obligation to stay where you are, even though you don't really want to. And that is not just it's not just where you are, it's situational. Um, okay. Is my energy bad? Like people can tell them, yes, Teal. Teal, yes. So your energy is not bad. But what happens is when we have vibrations like, I'm not good until somebody, pays attention to me, or we say things like, like I have low self-esteem, or I have low confidence. We put that out. Like the universe and the law of attraction does not understand English. The law of attraction understands energy, and we have energy. And when we put our thoughts and our feelings in that energy, we put that out. So that's the feeling everyone's getting when they are around people like this, is that they feel like not that it's okay to ignore them, but that's the vibration that you're putting out. So, okay. Example, before I was going through my spiritual awakening, I was a fairly angry person, and I would always bring in chaos. I would always bring in very angry people in my life because I was angry and I didn't know that. So when I would go out in the world and like try to be happy and be pleasant, the people who were actually happy and pleasant didn't really want to be around me because my energy didn't match with theirs, and it kind of makes them go away. Our energy has to match. So when your energy is real high and vibrational, and you match with the high vibe people. So it's not that you're bad. It's not your energy's bad. It's that you need to work on the inside. And that's the same for everybody. But everybody has slightly different issues going on because remember, everybody's working on their own life path. And that is exactly why we shouldn't judge anyone else. We shouldn't judge anybody ever. And I know that's a very human thing, but that's the first step to going into your spiritual awakening, is that when you realize that even if it's something you wouldn't do, you don't judge that other person because they're going and learning their own lessons. They're learning their own path, and that really is the truth. So I told you about when I realized I was creating my own negativity. What happened when I went through this dark night. Okay. And if you don't know what the dark night is, go ahead and tell me. I can explain it. But I went through my dark night, and I decided at that point I was getting rid of all of the negativity inside of me. I was no longer going to be this person who I didn't like. So I actively was like, I'm not going to, yell back at people. I'm not going to have bad reactions. I'm not going to think that they're doing anything personally to me right away. Like I went down this whole list. This is what I'm not going to do. And when I got all that anger and junk out of me, I realized there is nothing else in me. Like I didn't know what love was. I didn't know what pride was. I didn't know what confidence and courage was. There was nothing. I actively was avoiding being angry and being confrontational and being, I was actively avoiding all of it. And when I stopped doing all of that, I realized I didn't have anything else inside of me. And I decided, yep, I'm not going to do one more thing until I'm able to understand how to fill myself up with good stuff. So, I went on like that for a couple of weeks, and it was uncomfortable. There were times when I even would think about the concept of Stacy, and it didn't even feel like me. Like I didn't feel like me. This is how much my ego was shedding. I didn't feel like me anymore. And just had to deal with it. Just had to deal with it. So I went on the treadmill this one day, and I'm not an exercise person by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm like, I'm going to try it, whatever. I got on and I'm like, I'm going to try it for 20 minutes. And for somebody who doesn't exercise a whole lot, like 20 minutes is a really long time. So I got on there and I'm like, I'm never going to make it. I'm never going to make it. And I thought in my head, I'm like, no, you're going to do this. My entire life, I was always told that everything else, hey, Orion, I was always told any of my accomplishments were because of something somebody had did, never me. Okay, so I never could like actually attach anything to me that I did that was good. So as I just said, everything I did was either full of anger or rage. And when I stopped doing that, I had nothing inside of me. So I'm on this treadmill and I'm like, I'm going to do 20 minutes. I'm going to do it. And I swear I thought I was going to die. There's 20 minutes. I got to 15. I'm like, I can't do it. I'm like, you're going to do it. Rolled over to 20 minutes and I started to cry. Why? Because I actually felt pride in myself. I never felt that before. Never felt it. I felt the pride in myself come up and it made me cry. And I laugh now, but like I was sobbing right there. Yeah, Orion, 1 second. I was sobbing right there because I never felt that feeling before. And this is what happens when you go through the dark night into like a proper spiritual awakening, is that when you start shedding your ego, you start to feel the high vibration energies that you never felt before. And I've been unstoppable since. Unstoppable. And I want the same for all of you. So if you're interested, I'm just going to do a small plug here. If you're interested with working with me, you go to patreon.com, and I do work with clients one-on-one to help them do the same thing that I did. All right. And I'm not telling you it's easy, but I'm telling you it can happen, and I can help you every step of the way. I have a long list of clients, but I am taking more. So if you would like to be one of my clients, head over to patreon.com/thekey and go ahead and sign up, and I will talk to you more about that. Orion, yes, I'll give you a general. I would love to have your birth date, please, so I can know your life path, and then I will dial in with my guides, okay? If you're new here, can you make sure that you hit the like button to this live stream? Share it on your social medias for me so everybody can know, like, I'm here to help people. I'm not really here to like flip cards and like tell fortunes. I'm here to help people, really, honestly. And make sure you subscribe and hit the bell. Thank you. Wow, Ryan, I had to double check that. Ryan, do you know your life path number? Just interested. Just wait, this is important. I want to know if he knows his life path number. Have you ever got anyone ever tell you what your life path number is before, Orion? Okay, you do know. Okay, so your life path is a 2. Your attitude is also a 2. You are a master number 11. Okay, so this combination I've seen once before, sort of, but this combination is amazing because you have that master number 11 in your life path. So the master number 11 has all of these ideas that can change things, can make your life, your loved ones' lives, the world better. But you don't really know how to do any of it. It's like you have all these great ideas, but you get frustrated because you can't actually do any of it. And there's a reason for that. I'll get back to it. As a 2, you are balanced and harmonious, just like Bethany was a little while ago. I'm not getting the exact same energy with you that I got with her. And again, I'm going to restate that the 2s are like the aliens of the planet, because you have questioned, and especially since you're a double 2, you've questioned many, many, many times why you're even here. Because your life feels like a struggle. Your life feels like a struggle. And you've wondered, because you have such a view on the world that is like, I want it to be ideal. I want it to be, loving and harmonious, and the world we live in is not. So 2s take this very hard. 2s definitely look at it like, 2s generally crumble in rather than flourish, because the world is so difficult to deal with as a two. And since you're a double two, I can see where this would be a difficulty for you. Orion, do you have a grandfather that passed? I have an older gentleman with me, and definitely like a grandfather. And he's telling me that Orion, I'm asking him to say that again. He's telling me literally, like, Orion needs a kick in order to get started. Like, he wants you to get going with something. He wants you to stop fiddling around and get to it, because you know what you're supposed to be doing. This man loves you. So if it's not a grandfather, it is somebody who's older who was in your life. He died of a stroke. He's going like this. Your life doesn't have to be as hard as you're making it. Does that make sense to you, Orion? Your life doesn't have to be as hard as you're making it. That's literally what he just said. I get that you have big dreams. You have big dreams. You really want things to happen, and you're frustrated. You're frustrated with you feel like you were born into there's a part of you, Orion, that you feel like you were cursed. Like you were born into something, not family, born into something where you feel cursed and you can't get out from under it. And if that makes sense, let me know, okay? I'm going to put a pin in that. And when you can let me know, I'm going to keep going, okay? Did it ever creep you out to see dead people when you first started? No? Because I was little when it first started. The one time, because I pushed away my gifts a long time, and when my father-in-law had died, two hours after he died, he showed up in my living room talking to me. And that scared me, because I wasn't ready to be psychic at that point. I wasn't ready, and I knew like he showed up. So let's work with that word cursed, Orion. Let's work with that word cursed. There's something about you, or that you're feeling, maybe internally, that you feel that like these are the circumstances. How do I get over it? My guides are telling me you're giving me pushback for a reason. And I love it when they do that. So it's fine. So you're feeling this struggle. And definitely it feels to you that it is just the way things are, the way that, and there's no way around it. When really there is a way around it, you just have to realize that nothing is ever set in stone. Nothing. Even things that we think are unmovable can be moved. So let me know if you have any other questions. All right. Yeah, get back to your, when I see dead people. I see spirits every day. And I want everybody to realize that when we watch these ghost shows, what they should be doing on those ghost shows is releasing the spirits to the other side, because they're not an it. It's not, they're actually living beings. They just don't have their body anymore. They're living beings that deserve respect. So I get a little bothered when people go like ghost hunting in, like asylums or prisons where like people were really treated very badly, very poorly. And we're still kind of torturing them in death. And that bothers me a lot, because the spirits I generally talk to most of the time don't know they're dead, or they're confused, and they just need a little help to cross over. But do people view my appearance attractive? My guides are literally telling me this doesn't matter. My guides are funny. I'm sorry. What they want is you to realize that it doesn't matter about appearance. It doesn't matter what other people think. What matters is for you to start loving yourself and moving forward. All right. If anybody else has a question, go ahead and put it in with your date of birth. Hit the like button, subscribe if you can, and also head over to Instagram and Odyssey, and you can follow me there. If you're new, make sure you hit that like button and ask me a question with your date of birth. I'm going to be here probably for another 20 minutes before I have another appointment. I had a little. I come live on YouTube when I have time between my clients, and today seems like a great day. So you met me for a reason. Go ahead and ask me your question. If you're interested in having one-on-one support with me, I have a clientele over on patreon.com. The link is up top. I have many different levels starting at $5 a month. So go ahead and head over there, and we can talk more when you get there. What do you mean they answered Bella? Well, because you guys are two different people. She did not ask me about her appearance. And she also was asking more about her energy. Yeah, go ahead, Orion. What they're impressing upon me, Teal, for you, Teal, is that you're focusing too much on the outside. So that's why, it's not even just them. What I'm seeing is the energy-wise, you're focusing too much on other people. You need to focus on yourself. So Bella's questions were different. And again, see, you're comparing yourself. You're even doing it here. You're comparing yourself to somebody else. Don't stop doing that. And I know that's easy for me to say, like your mother. Stop doing that. What I want you to do is anytime you start to compare yourself to somebody else, you need to pause and go, I'm creating a bad situation for myself. I'm not going to do this anymore. Okay? All right, Orion, what's your question? Oh yeah, I was talking about Patreon. Over on Patreon, what I do is I do various different things for my clients. This is something I do, I really this is fun for me to come on and read people like live. I don't even know who you are. This is fun for me. What I do in my day job is that I help people. It's sort of like psychic therapy, where I help them with their karmic patterns, but their karmic patterns always lead to the challenges they're having in this life that they haven't been able to get through. So if you've been to doctors and therapists and realize like nothing is helping, that's when people usually come to me. All right. I'm not saying doctors and therapists are bad. I actually support people going to doctors and therapists. Perfectly fine. I'm usually where they end up when all of that doesn't work, because there are specific examples of events in people's lives where therapists don't really know how to handle them. They know how to label them, they know how to medicate them, but they don't know how to help the person get through. And apologies if that's offensive to anybody, but I've been through it myself with various things I've been through in my life and been through therapy myself. And for some things it didn't work. What helps is spirit. When you come closer to spirituality and understand how you are a spiritual being and you don't have to go to anybody else to connect to God, that's where we start. Okay. Bella, may I ask as well what type of job or career would suit me? Okay, so what I'm seeing, one and two things here is that if this job that I'm seeing right now that would suit you is different than the job that is actually what you're meant to be doing. Okay. Okay, I can put the link up to sign up for classes. Hold on one second. I do have one of them marked as full. If you just put in your registration, put a note in there that you want to start on Tuesday, you can do that. Okay. Sorry, I'll be right there with you, Bella. Hold on. Like, shorten. My computer is having such it's between Mercury retrograde and menopausal, I swear. Okay, that's the link to sign up for group classes. They're free starting on Tuesday. The next round of them will not be free. So if you want to get in on Tuesday, Sign up for the Tuesday classes that start in February. And I'm going to fix this. Just sign up for the one that says full, and then I will get you into the right one, okay? Okay, Bella, let me get back to your job. Bella, did you work at a restaurant, or you ever worked at a restaurant? Because they're telling me like serving, waitress, um, but you hated it. Orion, did you ask me? You need to ask me another question. Um, what happens, Orion, is when you say like no, no, and you can't, and you don't move forward with the question, they kind of stop talking because that's the message they're trying to give you. And if you are able to fit it together in some way, they'll be able to continue. Now, I may not have said it correctly when I said that you feel, I forget how I put it, but if you're able to put that together, or ask me another question, okay, and I'll be able to tap back into it. Okay, Bella, you worked at a shop, but you hated it. True? What I'm seeing right now is all that you really think you're good for are these like lower level, entry level jobs, when really I'm seeing like a boardroom. I'm seeing like on your other, like your path when you get through all of this is you are going to be in a boardroom. You're going to be a very influential person. Has a lot to do with numbers and business. It's like you're sitting in this room and people are like, she's talking, you know? Um, so what's happening is you've changed yourself down to thinking that you can only do this, you can only do that. And you're holding yourself back. Okay. All right. So they're showing me that there were people in your life who were comparing you to other people. And they're showing me very clearly that, like, my mom used to do this with my cousins, and she still did it until like we stopped talking. That okay, I'll get to you right second in Orion. Bella, my guys are showing me when my mom used to like compare me to my cousins, and it was like, there's the smart one, I was the pretty one, and what that did for me was make me think that like all I could ever be was the pretty one, when like that's not true. Like I could have been so much more had I been given the support from the people who were raising me. Um, and this is where all this is originating from. And maybe, yeah, your dad wasn't like that, but he wasn't around. So that's what you were missing that whole time. Okay. Oh, your mom used to compare you to her. Very interesting. Have you ever looked up narcissistic mothers, Bella? You should. That's exactly what they're saying about that. Hey here, Kira. Nice to see you. You're new here. Welcome. Ask me any questions. You can put your date of birth in. Make sure you like this live stream and subscribe to my channel. Okay. Bella, if you have another question, let me know. I'm going to get back to Orion. Okay. Orion. So, Orion, we don't have chances of awakenings. It happens when it happens. And what happens is when you start to awaken, you can either like jump out of it and be like, oh, I want no part of this, and like full dive into your ego and your earth life. Or like I did, you really have to do a lot of inner work and shadow work and like scrape off that ego and realize the things that are coming through, the things that are being shown to you are for your own good. And what happens with inner work is like, I'm totally different than a lot of people. Like like your shadow self, everyone's shadow self is that part of yourself that people don't want to show other people. Okay. Whereas like I'd been through so much in my life, I really didn't give a crap what everybody thought of me. So I let my shadow self like hang out. I was like, hey, you suck. You know, like that was my shadow self. So It's probably a little easier for me to face my shadow self just because it's who I defined myself as. So you need to look in your shadow self, like the part of you you don't want other people to know that you have. You don't even like knowing that you have this part of you. Um, those aspects of you are the ones that you need to embrace, that makes it part of you, and then see what effect they have on your life. And your shadow self, your ego, and your karmic patterns all work together in order to stop you from awakening spiritually. So that's why I work with people to clear their karma, clear all of this so they can move into a spiritual awakening. Because if you have any of this negativity, which I do feel around you, Orion, if you have any of this negativity at all, any of this resistance, you will not move forward through a spiritual awakening. And it's fully on our own choice. And our choice is either we're going to move forward with positivity and facing the fact that we did and acted certain ways and said certain things, or we're totally going to turn around from it and just dive into our ego and our life here. There's really no other choice. If you want me to help you with this, you can make an appointment at the top. I pinned it at the top. I help people all the time, either on a one-time basis, or you can sign up over on Patreon, which I can talk to you about later, and on a long-term basis. Okay. Teal, I can answer medical questions from a spiritual basis. I'm not a psychologist or a doctor. Okay. I can understand it from a spiritual basis, and all of our medical issues are connected spiritually. And they're one of two things. Usually they're karmic patterns, if they cannot be solved by medicine. Okay, so if you have a disease, like my dad has RA, okay, rheumatoid arthritis, that's something he contracted to have in this life in order to learn lessons from. That's not karma. If you have something that's very phantom, that's very, like, it's real to us, but the doctors are like, yeah, you're crazy. Like, we can't find anything, because that's how doctors are. That's your karmic pattern. And as soon as you clear your karma, the symptoms go away. And on my hand to God, it happened to me. I was sick all the time before I went through my spiritual awakening. And now I can tell you, I'm really, really happy. I really am. And this is why I'm here with everybody, to try to help them. Okay, Bella. Bella, let's get back to your parents real quick. Just because your dad does not mean your mom was not. And this is a complicated thing. And again, I've had two parents that were narcissists. Sorry. I feel solidarity. So this is where your confidence issue is coming from, because the person who was supposed to be uplifting you and teaching you that you're the most wonderful being that ever came into her life was kind of telling you that she's better than you are. So, and like, I don't even understand why they always focus on being thin and rich. I don't get it, but that is what they do, because it's material, blah, blah, blah. But we all know that stuff doesn't matter. We know that it's like spiritual stuff that matters, and sending love out to everybody. I do send love out to my parents every day. I send love out to the people who've hurt me every day, whether they're here or past, because it helps my karma, it helps their karma, it helps heal the world. You just have to let go of, like, the anger. That's first, let go of all the anger that's attached to it. And that's a hard road. And I understand to take the step to that. I understand that a lot. Okay. Teal, see, now I can't diagnose you like that, Teal. I think, as I said earlier, I think you have some addictive aspects, which could go under either one of those. But I can't diagnose anything. But I did mention before that I do feel like you have some addictive aspects to your personality, which are all based on, your karmic behaviors, your karma. Even though these are medical conditions, I mean, honestly, I have ADHD, so I understand that, the inability to focus. But don't. I don't know how to say this. Go to the doctor, and see, get that ruled out first. And then if they're saying no, that's when you would come back and see if it's a spiritual basis. Okay. Okay. Did I miss anything? Orion, did I answer your question, Orion, or do you have any other questions? I'm going to put my link to make an appointment with me if you are interested. I did put this at the top, but this is how. This is where you make appointments with me. if you would like to make a one-on-one appointment, pin. Okay, so I pinned it to the top. Yeah, so everybody has these karmic patterns, and they come out like we have many karmic patterns, and our patterns come out every single day in every single challenge that we face. So what I teach people to do is I teach them how to identify what patterns are showing and clear them. And a pattern is a lot like we're a house, like we're built like a house. We have good bones, strong structure. And a pattern is like a really ugly coat of paint over the house that has dried over many centuries. And then there's another pattern that has painted and dried over there. Okay. So to get rid of the patterns, you need to scrape off the paint like a paint chip. But you know how hard it is to scrape paint off like a huge house, right? It comes off in teeny tiny little chips. That's what your pattern does. So when you face things like, I'm going to use Teal as an example, okay? So when Teal is thinking about what everybody else thinks of me, that's a pattern. Teal needs to go, I see it, I feel it, I release it. I choose to be confident in myself and love everybody regardless what they think of me. That would be telling the universe, oh, I recognize that. I don't need to encounter that anymore. And then we'd move on. And that would keep happening until your entire pattern is all chipped off. When your entire pattern is cleared, the situations and people that bring you your pattern in your life leave. Like, it's not like they die or you do anything. They just go. Like, it's not needed in your life anymore. And when that happened to me, a couple of my kids have special needs. So we had staff in our house, and they were not nice staff, and they caused a lot of problems for me and my family, but I couldn't really get rid of them because they weren't like hired by me. So when I started to clear my pattern, I was angry, I was chaotic, so I attracted people who were angry and chaotic into my home, right? When I started clearing that pattern, and I said, I remember this, I said that I welcome anybody who is loving and comforting and kind through my home. And I kid you not, every single support person quit the following week because I have now just told the universe I wanted only positive people and I'm going to be positive. They all quit in a week. So, like, I'm telling you, this works. Hi, Sabrina. Nice to see you back. Okay. I do feel my mom's a good mom, but what do you see my relationship with her? I see your relationship, Bella, as being very distant with your mother. And everybody says that they have a good mom, right? I said that for years until I realized, like, holy crap. But that's a whole other story. I see your mom as being very distant. And although she provided for you and did her best, and she did her best in how she knew to parent. Okay, it's not like she was looking at you going, oh, I'm going to get you. No, she did her best to be how she knew to be a parent. All right. Your soul contract with your mother specifically was to help her out of what she learned as a child to parent. So you were supposed to be like this catalyst, Bella, in order to help your mother. They're telling me, and your father, but your mother specifically, you've contracted with them to be born and have them step out of the roles that they learned to, like, these roles we play, they learned. But when they didn't do that, okay, then you slip into, becoming just like they are. All right. And now you're facing, Bella, would you tell me your year of birth? You're older than 25 or 30, right? When you are facing the choice now to be like them or not be like them, and there is where you're struggling. That's where that sense of duty comes from. Okay, it gets a little complicated. So yeah, your mother does love you. Your mother has done her best of what she knows, and it's okay. That's where we have to love them and thank them. But now it's time for you to be your own person and not be defined by how you were treated. All right. Well, I mean, yeah, you'll have ADHD when you were a kid. I mean, I wasn't diagnosed till I was 26. So, hey, Sabrina. Okay, what's coming for love this year? All right, they're telling me to take the cards out. I feel very topsy-turvy about that, Sabrina, love, for you this year. Very topsy-turvy. Let me just check my... Sorry, I tend to talk a lot and like get off schedule. Good. Okay, we're good. It feels very topsy-turvy. No problem, Bella. I really do love this. Like, I love going live and talking to people on YouTube about their questions. And if you are interested in joining my Patreon, it starts at $5 a month, or you can just make a session with me and we can talk more about what you're going through right now, okay? Or you can just subscribe and keep up with me. I'm live every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. Beliefs. Yeah, okay. So Sabrina, it does feel very topsy-turvy to me this year. You got the Devil card in the middle, which is talking about your shadow self, which means we were just talking about the shadow self. So Sabrina, you need to face the shadow part of you, the parts that aren't particularly lovely, and you don't like to show people. You need to face those and embrace them, and then clear them or make the choice to not act on them. They're showing me that you have an issue, or had an issue in the past with your temper or anger, and this is still holding you back. Let's focus in on love. Okay. The other card you got was limited by self-beliefs. So you believe there's only one type of person out there for you, and that's all you're looking for. I think I said this to you before, didn't I? That you need to look for people who aren't your specific type, because the specific type of person you've always dated didn't really work out for you, right? So they're saying that you need to look for another kind of person, gentler, quiet, driven. This is not the kind of person that is going to be out and about on a Saturday night. Okay. This is the kind of person, though, who's like you would look at this person and go, well, why aren't they? This is the kind of person who is very, very reserved, but driven in the career. Like, I think you were the one I told you about the NBA before. I keep seeing a basketball. Person plays sports. And if I'm looking at time of year, August, you're going to come upon this person around August. All right, Sabrina, if you have any other questions, let me know, okay? All right, I have a few more minutes. Anybody else have any other questions? Oh, Teal, you can ask as many questions as you want. I don't care. If you're new, make sure you hit the like button. You can put your date of birth, put your question in the chat box, ask me a question. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Let me tell you a little bit about my group classes that starting on Tuesday, but I have several kinds of classes that are starting. They're basic classes to teach you how to clear your karma. It's the basics of them, like where does karma come from? I teach you the archetypes of them, what you can look for, and you also fill out a journal that I will look at every day and have interaction with you every day. Group sessions are once a week, and then we will meet once a week, and then I chat with you over your journal every day. And then you also have the option to upgrade to have meetings with me twice that month. So they're 4 weeks each. But I teach you all about karma. I teach you how to identify it and find it in your life, and teach you pretty much my rules of how I live my life. Like, don't judge people, live for, there are no victims. There are no victims other than the people who are actively being victimized. That's what I mean. So I'll put that link in here one more time. If anybody's interested in the group classes to look at and to sign up, there's no money down to pay for it when you sign up. But when you go to schedule your appointment is when I'll need the registration fee. But, you can talk to me about it. We can, talk to me about it. Ask me any questions you have. They're almost all filled up This is why I closed it out for this Tuesday. Gaggy said she was going to sign up for them anyway. Here's no, Orion, no. And what they're saying is, if the person was your destined one, that will come back around, right? Because if it's meant to be, it's going to happen. But I feel like that relationship was really hard. Hold on. Or that person is a really difficult person to get close to. There's something about the two of you. I don't know. It feels really like a difficult relationship in any form. And so, well, immediately when you said the Capricorn person, I got an image of like a stone horse, like a heavy horse that you can't actually ride. Is That's the image that I got. But no, not your destined one. We don't actually have just one person that we're destined for. Can you imagine? Like, I want you to all think about that. We're not destined for just one person, because it's like that soulmate concept is ridiculous. Because how could we be destined for one person who's technically like half of us? We have to find who's incarnated in this world or could be on the other side. Like, that's ridiculous. So we have lots of people we could be, have really good, happy life, loving lives with, depending on our choices. So we all don't have we don't have predetermined lives. Like, everything is future could be probable. You could choose, like, Orion, you could choose to like pack up and leave where you are right now and like make a new life. Like, literally, like, right now, just decide. And that would change your future, because that changes your timeline. Any change we make to our life shifts our timeline a little bit, which means that's why we have to make every change we make, every choice we make, the most positive choice we can make, because it will shift our timeline more and more to the better, higher, best timeline we can be on. So when you spend your time regretting and you spend your time, lamenting, was that the one? That's not the most positive. Most positive choice you could make is moving forward and knowing that, like, you're a great person, and you're going to work towards being more positive, and you're going to help other people. Like, it's all this stuff you could come up with. Like, this is who I'm going to be, and this is who I am, rather than focusing on one person who isn't in your life anymore. Teal, can you see where and when I will move next? I'm so bored in my current country. Aren't we all? I mean, really, it's been a year. So I love when people ask me when they're going to move next, because I'm like, it's 2020 yet. It's still 2020. Hold on. This whole COVID thing. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Sorry, they might flag this now. This whole situation we've been in was never supposed to last this long. And it was only the fear of it that made it grow. And the fear of it is making it like stay around. Thing is, we just shouldn't fear it. We just need to, deal with it, move on. Those who have crossed over because of it made that choice. And we all were given that choice around the end of 2016. On the soul level, we knew this was coming, and the people who have crossed over have made that choice for reasons. So, like, if you get it, you get it, and if you don't, you don't. And we all learn lessons, and we move on in our lives, and there's no fear involved. We shouldn't fear it. But the fact that it was made into this big, fearful thing is why it's still here. So, that's all I can say right now, because YouTube will flag this video if I say anything else. Okay. When will you move? 2022 looks optimistic for it. I don't think you're ready to move. That's what they're saying, is that you need to, they're literally telling me you need to control your impulses. And so when somebody tells you to go within, okay, and they're telling me that you need to go within, Teal. So when they say to go within, that means you need to not talk to anybody every time, everything about everything in your life. What you do is you go in with yourself, and you contemplate what's going on in your life, and any questions you have, you journal, you reflect, you ask the universe to give you answers. Because anytime that you go outside yourself for any kind of attention or any kind of answers, you're turning away from yourself. You're turning away from the knowledge that you have innately, and you're not giving it the proper value. So yeah, you're feeling bored because you're feeling ignored, is what they're telling me. So the way to move on is to go within. All right. All right. So I've given you all my links. The one link for the group class is we're going to teach you how to do karma clearing in a group. I've pinned at the top how to make an appointment with me. And then also, if you want to check out my Patreon page, it starts at $5 a level. You get access to all the exclusive material that I put over on Patreon and not on YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. And if you want to talk to me more about what I've talked to you today about karmic clearing, anything, what you can do is follow me on DM. You can hit me on DM on Instagram. I don't do any readings on DM, but I can answer short questions, and I will direct you probably to make an appointment with me if it's any longer than that. Okay? Thank you, Teal. Thank you, everybody who's still here. Make sure you like and subscribe and share this channel and share this live session on your social media. I really do appreciate it. Love and light to you all. See you Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.